Welcome back to the Bossin Up with Ballard podcast. I'm your host, Roderick Ballard, and I'm excited to have you here for another empowering episode. In our last conversation, we explored the critical connections between mindset and success. Today, we want to dive into the essential topic of leadership and influence. Leadership and influence is key. It's key. Leadership isn't just about holding a position or a title. It's about how you inspire, motivate, and influence others. Something this podcast is built on. Whether you're leading a team, community, or your own life, I'm telling you, understanding leadership and influence is the key to making a positive impact in people's life, your life, family life. It's key. It's key. I'm very hyped just to go into this episode because leadership and influence is how everybody is motivated and inspired to do different things for some of the leadership and influence. For example, sports. Somebody had to watch somebody that influenced them or somebody influenced them to do it and they led them down the path to success. Curry watched his pops was in the NBA and Curry just followed the path. His father led, his mother was behind it, led him to success. But to find the leadership and influence, leadership is just having the ability to guide and direct and inspire others to reach common goals that they have already. It's about a vision of integrity and showing action. Influencing, on the other hand, is just having the capacity to affect others people's character and develop even your behavior. It's almost like having the effect to change and inspire people's actions in others, you know? So with that being said, just remember, you don't have to be so much of a formal leadership role to be a leader. Leadership is about a behavior of how you're leading people. It's not about a position. I always realize that just because somebody's in a certain position don't means they lead. That don't means they lead. Your manager necessarily don't lead. They just manage. Sometimes it can be someone above them that leads the team. Understanding that it's not a position, it's a behavior. A lot of things that I speak on is behavior based, where you have to sometimes look at yourself in the mirror because it starts with you and your behavior and your mindset and building that personal brand of what you stand for. So sometimes with anything, you have to build traits to be an effective leader. You got to have the mindset. You got to be able to overcome adversity to be able to lead. What just makes you an effective leader. You got to have some vision to be an effective leader. Effective leaders have a clear vision of where they want to go, and they have to be able to articulate that as far as in communicating what they're trying to do to be an effective leader. You have to be able to you got to give and show integrity. You got to lead by example. You got to maintain that at a high standard. You have to lead by example. I believe you have to lead by example, your actions. If you don't lead by that, why is I'm following you? Like, I don't want to follow you. You ain't showing me that you leading by example. Every time I look up, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And you got to show some empathy. You got to be able to show some care and understanding at your job, teammates, your feelings, your basketball team, your football team, your track team, your cheerleading team, your friends, your family. You have to. And with me, resilience. You got to be able to bounce back, baby. You got to be able to bounce back from these challenges and move forward. You can't let one setback be your only and all of you not going where you need to be or being where you need to be or succeeding where you need to be or getting that raise of where you need to be. So that's the biggest thing with that and being able to communicate. You got to be able to communicate ideas clearly so people can listen to you. You got to be able to do that. You have to. You got to be able to have these traits and build and trust and aspire to follow them. You got to have these traits to be able to build, trust, and inspire. I'm telling you, you have to be able to do that because if you can't trust, you won't be able to inspire nobody with any of it. I believe I have to trust someone. I have to see it. I got to sometimes necessarily be involved in it to be inspired and follow it. Or sometimes I just got to be like, oh, how did you get there? And watch the story or listen to the conversations or listen to the stories that's being told of me and where it's taking them and led them. And it's came off some of these principles that I'm preaching, and developing leadership skills. How do you develop them? I don't have a way that I can say that's good. It's just, it's just self-reflection, just analyzing your strengths and areas where you need to improve. That's what I feel. just self-reflection. Continue to seek feedback from everyone. Constructive feedback is great feedback to me. And just trusting colleagues and mentors and family members, friends, like staying a student to the game. Because once you stay a student to the game, it will open your eyes up to be able to invest in your personal growth, personal development, as far as your job. And that's being able to do the necessary steps to get into that next level and just continue to practice empathy. Take initiative in everything you do. You have to. You have to. You have to take initiative in everything you do. You don't want to wait for a leadership role to be given to you. You got to take charge in any enterprise projects that's given to you. School, sport. Just go back to the basic of everything. Your life, your financial situation, your girlfriend situation, your kids situation. Lead by that. Take control of that. I feel that a lot of people could be in a different situation if they just took control and initiative in some of the things that come upon them in their challenges in life. They could just really take control over everything. Sometimes if you take control over everything, you can necessarily influence and persuade people to necessarily be inspired by your influence. And that can really motivate them to take action as well. Because with that, all you do is really just building trust. Because trust is really the biggest foundation of influencing, being reliable and being honest. You have to stay consistent with your actions. Your actions is going to take you to where you need to be. Like if you lead and your actions speak in everything and your words really, is speaking for themselves, really, it'll really be an understanding for others. It'll be an understanding for them to be able to be motivated, and influence. They'll try to tailor what you're doing or your message because it's resonating with them and, their values because it'll be the needs of what they're looking for. So, sometimes that come with great communication. Telling you, it come with great communication. And you just continue to lead by example because your actions will speak louder than words. Discriminating, like how can this you say, if you show a behavior, and it's consistently being seen every day, people will attempt to follow those traits and behaviors and actions because they see the good in the traits and they see how consistent you are in leading and influencing something that you want or need. Influence is about guiding, just guiding towards a goal, You don't want to be hindering anyone's personal goals. That's one thing you want to not do. Like I say, I did a little bit of research about leadership styles. I did it once before in school, but it slipped my mind a little bit. Leadership styles, because some of these leadership styles could fit once. It could fit all. Everybody can fit all of them. But it's different situations as far as different styles. 4 styles that I did see, and if anyone want to comment under the post, if it's any others out there, they're more than welcome to, or they can actually tell me and call me and let me know about any different leadership styles. But a few common ones that I recognized when I did my research was autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership, if I wanted to explain it in a way where it's relatable, it's like a leader where he make decisions alone. The best way I could put it for the urban communities or from the community or background I came from, it's like an OG. It's like an OG making moves and calling shots because the stakes are high. The stakes are high. And that style of leadership can be ineffective in a crisis situation. It's like creative, really, where you use it all the time. So that's like a way I can explain that. That's one of the leadership styles, and then a democratic leadership style where, leaders just seek input from the team to make decisions collectively. You got to think of it like where the community's meeting up and everyone gets their say so. And that style is more like the encouragement to collaborate together so you can make sure everyone's voice is heard. So that's one of the leadership styles. And then the third one that I researched was transformational leadership. This leadership inspires and motivates. How can I put it in the words of it inspires and motivates teams far as reaching their highest potential. It's like picture a basketball coach who trains every day and believes in you, pushes you to be the best you can be, pushes you to the limit. He just wants to see you grow and develop personally and professionally. So that's like a transformational leadership. And then the fourth one that I researched Very interesting. A servant leadership. With this one, as I could say, just it's a leader prioritizing uh, for the best. The best. I think that's the easiest way to put it. He helps the team, he or she develop and perform their best. It's a style that kind of like builds trust, loyalty. So that's like the best way I can put that one. So you just got to think about which styles resonate with you and how you can adapt to the different situations. Whether you're leading family, your little crew, your friend crew, if you want to put it like that, colleagues, just finding that right approach to leading. I want all this leading to be in positive ways to your community, to your friends, your family. Everything should be genuine. It should be genuine, and always true to yourself. Anything negative, push it out the way. So I've had examples in my life of leading, but I also know, I said one of my favorite, Nelson Mandela. He's had a great vision, very resilient, inspired the nation. Also, Oprah Winfrey. I love Oprah Winfrey as far as her show and what it stands for and what she's done because she showed a lot of empathy, or care, and communication as far as her skills and just influencing millions. Still influencing people 25 years 30 years later, and I'm only 32. And just as for me, I say I can lead at work. I've been great leading at work. As far as me working, I've been able to lead projects at work. And the biggest thing that I've realized at work is just the importance of caring and communicating with my teammates by just taking the time to understand the challenges that's actively going on within the team and just being a great listener. Because with that, we're able to achieve our goals more effectively. And that's some of the things that I've learned over time. Also understanding on my life, being a good leader, some has to come with being a great father. If you not a great father, pretty much not a great leader, in my opinion, because man should be leading. And I'm not necessarily saying women can't lead either because they can lead as well. But what I'm saying is a father has to be a great leader because you got to be able to come past adversity. Your brand has to be trustworthy. Your mindset has to be right so you can lead for success. And you got to have great leadership and influence around you to be able to take that next step to the top. So that's why I believe fatherhood is a great reputation, of leadership, being able to enhance the influence. I'm always going to preach it. Being authentic, people is drawn towards being authentic, being true to yourself, your values, your principles, standing for something or your fall for anything. Building strong relationships. You got to build strong relationships. You got to build those genuine relationships and you got to show the interest of anyone. Communicating effectively, you have to communicate effect. You got to be able to speak. I used to be sometimes scared to get up and speak. Sometimes I go through that in moments where I can't speak. And it's just sometimes I'll be like, oh, I can't speak. It's just that I'm not thinking of what I'm saying. I'm not communicating effectively. I'm not making conscious decisions when I'm about to talk. Understand and communicate effectively and show appreciation. Show appreciation to the leadership. Have to. Have to. You have to show appreciation to everything that you do in life. It's just a simple thanks to everything. How can I say with that? Leadership, with the action taken, being able to be a leader, you have to be able to identify the opportunities. You got to be able to know when to lead. You have to. You got to know when to be able to lead. You got to know to look for those opportunities. Work, family, you got to learn how to look for the current role that you're trying to lead, a project or mentorship or relationship. And you got to set clear goals to what you're trying to achieve. Because if you don't have any goals, you won't be able to create a plan to reach those goals. And you got to have collaboration. You got to encourage. You got to collaborate with the team and what you're trying to do so everybody can feel valued. When I started this podcast, I asked my wife because I wanted her to feel valued and I didn't want her to feel as she wasn't a part of the Bossin Up with Ballard because she's part of the Bossin Up with Ballard. She's the motivation. My daughter's the motivation. My mom's the motivation. My sisters, step pops, the motivation. And just continue to be, as a leader, adaptive to everything, being open to new ideas and approaches. You got to continue. I'm gonna continue to say that you got to be, because in the last 14, 15 years, things have changed dramatically far as leaders, jobs, lifestyle, stock, the way of living, price of living, things has went up. So you just being adaptive, understanding a leader has to understand those things as well, and just leading with integrity. Trust and respect is only earned through being consistent. Always act with integrity and uphold your values, because that's big, very big with that. So you have to understand embracing leadership and influence is key. It's a key concept to everything that goes on in your community, around the world, and everywhere else. So this was like a big key episode for me. I just feel it was more of a research thing for me, because I wanted to learn like what leadership as far as leadership styles was about, because I know it's different methods of leadership everywhere. It's leadership everywhere you go. It's people in your life that's a big leader, as I could say, a big leader and influencer to your lifestyle, or to how you want to be, or what you're trying to do in life. So just continue to, build on some of the things I put out here today, as we wrap up today's episode. Just remember that leadership and influence is about making positive impact on people around you and yourself. It's about giving guidance to others towards a shared vision and inspiring them to achieve that vision at their best. Leadership isn't contained to job titles. It's about showing up every day. And I'm going to continue to say this, showing up every day with the values you uphold. You got to uphold some values, got to uphold some principles on the way you want to treat people, whether you're a leader of a team or community or your own life, which I'm preaching is for every individual, for your own life. Embracing leadership is just an influence so you can help make a big difference with yourself, with other individuals, your community. I'm telling you, it's big. It's very big. With all that, you got to make the changes. Y'all have to make these changes with your lifestyle. Got to be able to overcome adversity, build your personal brand, mindset, so you can succeed. And you also got to understand it's leaders out there that you can follow, or as their leadership and influence to be able to take you to the next level. So again, I want to thank you for joining my episode of Bossin Up with Ballard. If you found this valuable as far as our discussion today, please share with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Next week, we'll be talking on, another topic as well that's going to be very detailed. You don't want to miss it. Until next time, keep pushing forward and embrace your journey and keep bossing up. Peace.